Okay, I'll quickly go over the ingredients. This the cooking wine, sesame oil, soy sauce, salt, 5-spice powder, corn flour, garlic, chicken, and spring onion. And this is chicken thighs. I just got 2 chicken thigh, which weighs about 300 grams. Okay, now I'll prep the ingredients. There's only 3 really to prep: the chicken, the garlic, and the spring onions. So I'll prep the chicken first. So I'm going to cut this into cubes. So it's about 1 by 1, 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter, or maybe 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter. So just do that roughly. We don't need to be accurate, more or less. Just make sure all the pieces are even size. So I'm just going to do it quick. That. Chicken, one thigh done, and another thigh, same thing. Just make sure they're all even thickness, more or less. And then go across. If you want to take the fats out, you can take the fats out. I tend to just leave them in. Fats like these, like this, I probably will take it out, but yeah, that. And so that's it. So that's all the chicken kind of done. Then next thing would be to, let's marinate the chicken first. Okay, so to do the marination, first I want to prepare the cornstarch. So I've got 1 tablespoon of water, and I'm going to take 1 teaspoon of corn flour, and put it in there. Just want to mix it. So just mix that. So you have a cornstarch slurry. Then now we can start to add stuff to marinate the chicken. So the chicken we cut earlier, we want 2 tablespoons of wine. So 1, 2, then 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and 1 teaspoon sesame oil, and 1 teaspoon sugar. This is half a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon, and 2 teaspoons 5-spice powder. So this is half a teaspoon. So I'm going to put 4 of this here. So 1, 2, 2, 4. And we add the cornstarch slurry in, and all we need to do now is just mix it all up. So the mixing is really not complicated. Just make sure everything is mixed and no dry powder spots. So sort of evenly mixed. And you know, there's some sugar and stuff. We want to dissolve the sugar a little bit as well. So you get all the corners. If your bowl is, if your container is square, but if your container is round, don't worry about it. Then that's it, really, just the mixing, and now we can leave it to marinate for 20 minutes. So normally I just cover and just leave it for 20 minutes. Okay, so while I'm marinating the chicken, I'm going to prepare the garlic and the spring onion. So garlic, I have, so if you have pre-minced ones and you want to use the pre-minced ones, go ahead. With mine, I'm going to use the fresh ones, so I'm just going to prepare the garlic. It's actually quite easy, and if you use fresh garlic for this recipe, it's actually better because then you have the nice fresh garlic taste and smell. So I just do it quite smashing here. So smashing just helps to make it easy for us to peel. And then you do want to take the butt off from the garlic, so I just slice it off. So all I do is, so if I find the butt, I just slice that off. And then what I do is I gather all of them together and I roughly just chop, get them into smaller chunks. Once I have them into manageable chunks, then I just take the knife, get them all together, put the knife and pan, and we just do that. Just rocking motion, and it helps to chop the garlic quick. You don't have to go too fine unless you really want to. I kind of leave it bigger, slightly bigger than fine. Okay, so it's more or less done. So I've chopped it to about that sort of size. And just get all that into a bowl or plate, whatever, just to make it easier to get to my stove. That's garlic done. Then we want to do the spring onions. So spring onions, taking about, because mine are really quite large. I'm just going to have about 4. So, and I cut them about 4 centimeters long, sort of 4 or 5 centimeters long. and spring onions are done. So that's all the prep for doing our chicken. Actually, we can also use this part, the thicker part of the spring onion. We could also use the white part. So I'm just going to slice mine into half, so it's there, so it gives a bit more oniony taste. And that's it. We are done with the prep for the dish. Now all we have to do is wait for it to marinate. So I've got another 15 minutes, so it's only been 5 minutes, and then we'll do the cooking. Okay, it's been 20 minutes now, so time to cook. So this is the marinated chicken. You can separate the marinade into a different bowl if you want, but just make sure you drain the marinade out. Or what I do is I have this spatula, this pasta spatula, where when I lift the meat up, it will strain. So if you have that, use that, it's just faster. But otherwise, yeah, just separate them first. Then now let's heat the pan up. So I'm using a ceramic coated pan, so I'm going to be using plastic spatula so not to scratch my pan. So with yours, yeah, go ahead and use whichever I think your pan can accept both, if I'm not wrong. So let that heat for 30 seconds, and then we want to add 3 tablespoons of sesame oil. So that's 1, 2, 3 seems like a lot, so I'm going to just add 2.5. Don't think I need that much sesame oil. And then I'm just going to add, I have the heat at high, and just testing the heat of the oil. It's ready, sizzling, so adding the garlic. Just for like just a little while, and now we can add the chicken. Just the chicken, just reserve the rest of the marinade. We will use it later, but so we want to cook the chicken first for about 5 minutes. So I'm giving this to you real time so you can kind of know how long it takes to cook it. With chicken, you want to make sure it is fully cooked. If not, you will get salmonella. So it's quite important that your chicken is cooked all the way through. So if you, when you're eating and then you find that when you go into the chicken and it's still raw pink inside, make sure you get it back to the stove and cook longer. So always check with your biggest piece in there. And so that's why it's important to make sure all your pieces are even size, so the cooking time is the same. It's just like if you have a spatula like this, and if you find that you can cut through the chicken, then the chicken is done. So in my case, it's more as it's there. So I'm going to add my marinade now that we reserved earlier. And also the spring onion. So this then is just saute for another couple of minutes until it kind of sort of dries up, thickens up. And you can take and taste a little bit to see whether you want to add salt. Because I didn't add salt earlier because there was a lot of soy sauce. So I will just add just a pinch more. And that's it for me. And just stick in the form. That's it. And you now have your 5-spice chicken. How good is that? So easy.